Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the preparation of the alkenes, and after that, we discussed about the physical properties of the alkenes. We started a proper discussion of the alkenes in the last lecture. Right now, we are going to continue our journey in the alkenes with some of the chemical properties of the alkenes. Among them, the first chemical property will be the addition of the H2. So what is addition reaction? When unsaturated compound break the pi bond and add another reagent into that, it will be known as the addition reaction. In the sense, there are two reagents, 1 and 2, and both are adding to each other and giving me only one product. How does this work? Okay, alkene have double bond, means that is the one pi bond present in its structure. Now pi bonds are weaker than the sigma bond. That's why this pi bond is going to be broken. When this pi bond is going to be broken, a simple thing occurs. We have already done it in the preparation of alkane compounds. We have already done in the preparation of alkane compounds. Okay, let's discuss that again. Let's revise that. We had alkene, suppose ethene. Ethene with the reaction H2 in the presence of platinum, palladium or nickel catalyst, the pi bond will be broken and one hydrogen will be added on both the carbons respectively, and it will convert into the alkane. That reaction was known as a hydrogenation reaction. We have already done it in the preparation of alkanes. That's why we have not discussed much details over here. Now, let's talk about the second addition reaction. Addition of X2. Now, X is none other than our halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Among them, fluorine and bromine give me this type of reactions, but fluorine and iodine do not take part in this reaction. Why? Because fluorine is highly reactive. In the sense, the reaction will be very fast and enormous amount of energy will be released, which can cause problems. That's why F2 is never been added to the alkene directly. It will be added indirect. That's why F2 is not included. Now let's talk about I2. I2 gives reversible reaction, and because of that, the product will be again converted into reagent. So that reversible reactions is not helpful to us. That's why iodine is also not used. Only chlorine and bromine is used for addition into the alkenes. It is quite simple. The concept is same. Remove the pi bond. Both the carbon have one vacant valency and one bromine will be added to that. So one bromine on this carbon and the one bromine on the other carbon. When bromine are besides each other, in the sense bromine are on the next carbon, they are called vicinal dihalides. We have already discussed it in the previous lecture. So vicinal dihalide is occurred. The IUPAC name of this compound will be 1,2-dibromo. 2 carbons. That's why ethane. Because pi bond is now gone. This reaction occurs in a solvent organic solvent. This reaction cannot occur in water as a solvent. So this is going to occur in the organic solvent like carbon tetrachloride, ether, like that. Likewise, we have propene over here, 3 carbon containing compound, and when we react with Cl2, pi bond will be broken among the double bond, 1 chlorine on the first carbon and 1 chlorine on the second carbon. It will give me 1,2-dichloropropane vicinal dihalide. That was the addition of halogens. That's why this reaction is called halogenation reaction, because we are adding halogens. Now, let's discuss addition of HX, means HF, hydrofluoric acid, hydrochloric acid, hydrobromic acid, and hydroiodic acid. In the sense, hydrogen halide, addition of hydrogen halide, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen iodide, hydrogen fluoride. Among them, hydrogen iodide and hydrogen fluoride is not being used, as we have already discussed the reasons. HF gives a very fast reaction, that's why it is not needed, and HI gives a reversible reaction, that's why it is not needed. Now, there are two types of reactions are there. Actually, the concept is same, but alkene have two different types. Okay, the first type will be addition of HX in symmetrical alkene. Addition of HX in symmetrical alkene. What is symmetrical alkene? Symmetrical alkene means the double bond have similar amount of carbon on both the sides. Suppose ethene. From the double bond, both sides have only one carbon with that. So, when we cut it down from the double bond, both the side remains equal. That's why it is called symmetrical alkene. When HBr is added to the symmetrical alkene, it doesn't matter. You can add bromine to any one of them. Suppose I have added bromine on the first carbon and hydrogen on the second carbon. Like this. The name will be first carbon, so 1-bromo ethane. Suppose we have done it opposite way. Bromine on the other side carbon and hydrogen on this carbon. What will be the name? Name will be the same. Why? Because now this carbon will be the first, so 1-bromo ethane will be the name. So, symmetrical alkene does not have any type of difficulties regarding understanding. Likewise, we have but2 in, cut it down from the double bond, 2 carbon on the left side, 2 carbon on the right side. Both are symmetrical. That's why this is also symmetrical alkene. but2 is the symmetrical alkene. So, again, at the HBr, suppose Br is added on the second carbon and hydrogen is added on the third carbon. So, the name will be second carbon containing Br. So, 2-bromo butane. Now, suppose we have changed positions. Suppose Br is on the other side and hydrogen is on this side. So, Br over here and hydrogen over here. Now, numbering will be from this side. So, 1, 2, 2-bromo and 4 carbon. That's why butane. Doesn't matter. So, symmetrical alkene do not have any difficulties regarding products because it give me only a single product. Now, we are adding hydrogen and halogen. That's why this reaction is called a hydrohalogenation reaction. Hydrohalogenation reaction. These all reactions are based on the pi electrons and addition reaction. That's why it is called electrophilic addition reactions. These all are electrophilic addition reaction. Electrophilic addition reaction. Okay. Now let's talk about the addition of hydrogen halide into asymmetrical alkenes. Addition of hydrogen halide into asymmetrical alkenes means if we cut down the compound with the double bond, both the side contains different amount of hydrogens. Over here we have propene. So if we cut down from the double bond, left side have 2 carbon and right side have only 1 carbon. So this compound is asymmetrical. Now difficulty arises because if we add bromine to the second carbon, it will be known as a 2-bromopropane, and if we add bromine to the first carbon, it will be known as a 1-bromopropane. Are you getting me what I am saying? We have two different possibilities. If we add bromine from second carbon, it will be 2-bromopropane. And if we add bromine on the first carbon, it will be the 1-bromopropane. Both are isomer of each other. Both are different compounds and both are going to be produced. So which one is the priority for us? For that, we are going to discuss Markovnikov effect. For that, we are going to discuss Markovnikov effect. Okay, what is Markovnikov effect? It is quite simple. It was first of all given by a Russian chemist in 1869. Markovnikov rule was given by a Russian chemist in 1869. What was the rule? A negative part of the additional molecule. Negative part of the additional molecule. Okay, this is my additional molecule. And the negative part is the Br minus. So negative part of the additional molecule will be added to the carbon containing lesser hydrogen. Will be added to the lesser hydrogen containing carbon, or carbon containing lesser hydrogen of the double bond. In the sense, if we have a double bond and among that 2 carbon, one carbon have a 1 hydrogen and another carbon have 2 hydrogen. So priority for the negative part will be towards the 1 hydrogen containing carbon. Means if I have less hydrogen on my carbon, the negative part will come to me. That was the rule given by Markovnikov. Now listen me carefully, because this rule defines your 12th science. You are going to use this Markovnikov rule in every step of your chemical organic chemistry in your 12th. You are going to use Markovnikov rule in every single step of your 12th science. That's why this is the most important part of this chapter. So pay attention what we are going to do. So according to the rule, negative part will go towards the lesser hydrogen containing carbon. Okay. Now the middle carbon have only 1 hydrogen and the first carbon have 2 hydrogen. That's why Br will be added to the lesser hydrogen containing carbon. So 2-bromopropane will be our main product. Means it occurs 55%. Whereas 1-bromopropane will only occur 45%. Clear? Now let's discuss science behind it. How this is going to happen, so that mechanism for Markovnikov effect. Okay, what do we have? We have HBr and propene. So propene CH3 CH double bond CH2 plus H Br. Okay. This is undergoing the reaction. Now, among this, the bond electron will be taken by the bromine. Bond electrons will be taken by bromine. So Br minus and H plus occurs. Now H plus is highly unstable. So first of all, H plus is going to be added. After that, Br minus is going to be added. Okay. Now H plus have two different possibilities. H plus can attach to the second carbon and H plus can attach to the first carbon. Let's do this. First possibility. First of all, break this bond. Suppose we have given the bond electron to the middle carbon. So middle carbon will be negative and first carbon will be positive. Second possibility. Suppose the bond electron is given to the first carbon, so middle carbon will be positive and first carbon will be negative. Now, a very important thing, H plus will attach to the negative part. So in the first possibility, H plus is going to be attached on the first part. So CH3, CHH, CH2 plus. Over here, H plus will be added to the negative part. So CH3, CH plus and CH2 and H. Okay? Look at this. What you have formed? You have formed carbocations. Which compounds? Carbocations. Both are carbocations. Now let's give it a type. This carbon is connected to only one carbon. That's why this carbocation is a primary carbocation. Now this carbon is connected to two carbons. That's why it is a secondary carbocation. We all know that from the previous chapter that secondary carbocation is more stable than primary carbocation. Secondary carbocation is more stable than primary carbocation. That's why primary carbocation will be the unstable or least stable, whereas secondary carbocation will be the more stable or the stable. So obviously, this secondary carbocation will get the priority and Br minus will be added to the CH which have secondary carbocation. So, which reaction occurs? CH3, CH plus and CH3 reacts with Br minus, where Br gives the electron to the carbon and give me CH3, CH, CH3, Br. Means name will be 2-bromopropane will be my priority. So that was all about the Markovnikov effect. Means lesser the hydrogen on the carbon, more chance to get the negative reading. Lesser amount of hydrogen on the double bond carbon, that carbon will get the negative part according to Markovnikov rule. That's why 2-bromopropane is 55% in the product and 1 bromopropane is only 45% in the product. Because secondary carbocation is more stable than primary carbocation. And remember that H plus will be added first because it is unstable, and Br minus will be added on the second step. So this is my step number 1 and this is my step number 2. Okay. Now let's talk about the opposite of the Markovnikov rule. Opposite side of the Markovnikov rule. After the Markovnikov rule in 1869, two particular names arise, MS Kras and FS Mayer. These two persons in Chicago University in 1933 proposed a new chemical reaction for the addition of HX in asymmetrical alkanes. They proved that 1-bromopropane can also be the major product. They proved that 1-bromopropane can also be the major product. How? How it is possible? They called it anti-Markovnikov effect, or you can say peroxide effect, or according to IUPAC, Kras effect. So there are three particular names for this one. This is completely opposite of the Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov says that the hydrogen have, if the carbon have lesser hydrogen, negative part will come to it. Now, in the anti-Markovnikov, if you have lesser hydrogen, you will get the positive part, not the negative part. It is completely opposite. More hydrogen containing carbon will get the negative part in anti-Markovnikov. So, what is the difference between these two reactions? You can see that in this reaction we do not have used any type of catalyst. But over here we have used benzoyl peroxide as a catalyst, and that's why it is known as the peroxide effect. Propene with the reaction of HBr in the presence of benzoyl peroxide, a free radical reaction occurs. It gives me 1-bromopropane as a major product, and 2-bromopropane will be the lesser amount. So what does happen over here? Why it is opposite of Markovnikov? Let's discuss the mechanism of it. Mechanism of Kras effect, peroxide effect, or you can say anti-Markovnikov rule. Now the step number 1. Let's draw the structure of benzoyl peroxide. Now C6H5 means phenyl ring, in the sense benzene ring. So C6H5 connected to the carbon containing double bonded oxygen. That part is connected to two different oxygen as a peroxide bond. Again, the second part, carbon double bonded oxygen with C6H5. This is the structure of benzoyl peroxide. What does happen? This reaction undergoes homolysis, in the sense free radical reaction, free radical chain reaction. So because of homolysis, the peroxide bond will be broken and one electron will be on the left side oxygen and one electron will be on the right side oxygen. A homolysis fission occurs. That's why it gives me C6H5 C double bond O and oxygen with the free electron. Already oxygen has 4 electrons on it. Now benzoyl free radical is highly unstable. Benzoyl free radical is highly unstable. So the phenyl ring and carbon bond will goes under the homolysis, and gives me last product of the step 1, C6H5 as a free radical, phenyl free radical, and CO2 carbon dioxide. The amount will be the double because two parts are there. I am getting phenyl free radical over here. This phenyl free radical will going to attack the HBr. So step number 2, C6H5 free radical, activate the HBr for the homolysis. So 1 electron on the hydrogen and 1 electron on the bromine. So hydrogen will combine with the carbon. That's why C6H6 benzene will be removed and bromine free radical occurs. So these two steps are additional compared to this. Now what was our reaction? Our main reagent, propane, will react with the Br minus. So step number 3, propane CH3 CH double bond CH2. Propane reacts with Br free radical. What happens? We have two different choices. Either we can add Br on the first carbon or we can add Br on the second carbon. Let's do this. Two options. Option number 1. Suppose we have added Br to the second carbon. So CH3 CH Br and this CH2 will be the free radical. Okay. Option number 2. Suppose Br is added on the first carbon. So CH3 CH free radical and CH2 with Br. Again, if you have done homolysis for the first step, homolysis will be carried out throughout the whole mechanism. So because of the free radical homolysis, Br can be added on the second carbon or on the first carbon. Now this gives us free radicals. Okay, let's discuss the type of it. This carbon free radical is connected to only one carbon. That's why it is primary free radical. And this carbon free radical is connected to two different carbons. That's why it is secondary free radical. Now we all know that secondary free radical is more stable than the primary one. So secondary free radical becomes the stable one, whereas primary free radical becomes unstable one or the lesser stable product. That's why this molecule will attack the HBr again. Means step number 4. This is going to attach the HBr. So CH3 CH free radical and CH2 Br, right? Going to attack the HBr again. As I said, homolysis occurs and hydrogen connects to the free radical. That's give me CH3 CH2 CH2 and Br. Look at this. 1 bromo, 1 bromopropane as my primary product, and 2 bromopropane will be in the left round. So that was all about the anti-Markovnikov rule. These two questions are most important for your 11th exam also. So follow the mechanism throughout for both of them from your textbook. At least speak it in the mirror for 3 times without looking in the textbook after reading it carefully, and then write it for 3 times in your book without using the text. This is very important for you guys because organic chemistry of the 12th is dependent on it. These concepts are going to be very useful. Now, let me tell you, antimargonicov is only used for HBr. It cannot be used for HCl because HCl bond is more stronger than HBr. Peroxide cannot penetrate it by free radical penetration. Now, let's talk about HI. HI bond is very much weaker than HBr bond. That's why whenever iodine free radical occurs, another iodine free radical will combine with the iodine free radical and gives me I2. So preparation of I2 will be more compared to this one. So that reaction is just useless for us. That's why anti-Markovnikov reaction is only has been used for HBr. Okay, that was all for the today's lecture. We will discuss about the other chemical reactions in the next lectures. Thank you so much.